Beloved, chosen one, listen closely. Something has been stirring in your spirit. A whisper not born of this world. You feel it in moments of stillness, in the quiet hours when everything else fades, but that gentle, sacred pull remains. Heaven has been trying to reach you, softly but persistently, because what is being revealed to you now is not meant for everyone. This is not noise. This is not coincidence. This is divine interception. God Himself has drawn you into this space to hand you something precious, something holy, something you are instructed to keep completely private. You have wondered why certain dreams stay with you, why certain people drift away right before your breakthrough, why silence feels safer than explaining what you see and feel. It is because you are being entrusted with a mystery, and heaven's mysteries are never shared with the crowd. They are whispered to the chosen, carried in the hearts of those who can bear their weight without boasting, who can protect them without seeking validation. Beloved, this is why you've been feeling set apart. You were never meant to blend in. You are chosen for sacred confidentiality. Heaven does not speak to every ear, and when it does, it often begins with a command of silence. There is power in what is hidden. There is protection in secrecy. Every revelation carries both glory and danger. God will not reveal to you something that others are ready to trample. So, when the divine voice tells you, "Keep this between you and me," obey immediately. And remember this: chosen one silence does not mean absence. While others seek attention, you are being refined in the quiet fire of purpose. God hides His most valuable vessels until they are ready to pour. The unseen preparation is proof that heaven is still working behind the curtain of your life, aligning every event with divine precision. Wait faithfully. Revelation ripens in secrecy. As Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 6, "But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father, who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you." You see, even your prayer life, your most intimate conversations with God, was never meant to be a performance. The secret place is where your true authority grows. It's where you are taught divine strategies, where God shapes your heart in silence before He sends you into noise. The enemy cannot steal what he cannot see. That's why God often hides your growth. You've been frustrated by this hidden season, but in truth, heaven has been protecting you. This message is not to be shared lightly. Do not rush to tell everyone about the dreams you're having, the signs you're seeing, or the shifts you feel. Some things, if revealed prematurely, can be attacked before they are born. Think of Mary, who kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. There are things that only make sense when the appointed time arrives. Until then, your silence is not weakness, it's wisdom. When you feel the urge to prove yourself or explain your calling, pause. Heaven watches how you handle divine confidentiality. The true chosen ones are those who can hold revelation without needing recognition. They understand that some of God's greatest works begin in secrecy, a seed in the soil, a child in the womb, a plan in the heart. You are living proof of that. And when the world misunderstands you, when they ask, "Why are you so quiet lately? Why have you changed?" remember that they are not meant to understand. God is rewriting your spiritual DNA in the hidden place. Your silence is evidence that something holy is taking form. Right now, heaven is saying, Guard this. Guard your dreams. Guard your visions. Guard your spiritual instructions. Not everyone around you has the spiritual maturity to handle divine information. Some will mock it. Others will misuse it. But you, chosen one, you will protect it like sacred treasure. There will be a time to speak. But that time is not now, until the divine release. Keep what you have seen between you and the Lord. This secret will become your strength, and your obedience will become your protection. You are learning to trust God, not just with your blessings, but with your silence. So, as you finish hearing this message, let this truth sink deep into your spirit. Secrecy is not isolation, it is incubation. What God is doing in private will soon manifest in public. Do not rush the process. The world will see it when heaven says, "Now, beloved chosen one." If this word resonates within your spirit, show your agreement by acting in faith. Like this message, share it only with those led by the Spirit, and subscribe so that you remain in the flow of divine revelation. And finally, as a prophetic act of secrecy and covenant, comment the number 777 below, symbolizing completion, divine protection, and the perfect seal of God's promise over what you are keeping hidden. There is a reason heaven gave you this message in whispers and not thunder. Chosen one, some truths must arrive softly so the heart can absorb them before the world tries to tear them apart. When God places a sealed message inside you, it is not because He wants you to hide in fear. It is because He is preparing you to carry something so sacred that even the angels hold their breath in reverence. The divine does not scatter pearls into chaos. It hides them in vessels that can be trusted. You may feel a holy tension inside, the weight of something you can barely explain. It is a divine code, sealed by the Spirit, written not on paper but within the folds of your soul. This is not ordinary inspiration. This is revelation, the kind that shifts destinies when the time comes. But until that appointed hour, you must hold it in silence. A secret shared too soon becomes a seed uprooted before it can take root. Beloved, understand that this sealed message was not meant to make you popular, it was meant to make you powerful. You are in the process of being entrusted with divine intelligence strategy that heaven releases to the few who are both humble enough to listen and wise enough to stay silent. God has written something in the private chambers of your spirit, a message that will unlock miracles, but only when you have proven faithful with what has already been whispered, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. The ancient words recorded in Proverbs, chapter 25, verse 2, declare, "It is the glory of God to conceal a matter. To search out a matter is the glory of kings." Let that truth sink into you. The very act of God hiding something from the public eye is His way of honoring you. It means that you are in a royal process. Heaven considers you worthy of divine confidentiality. To conceal something holy is not to diminish it, but to elevate its value. When you choose silence in obedience, you are stepping into kingly wisdom. The message God gave you, those dreams, those inner confirmations, those unexplainable signs are not coincidences. They are encrypted transmissions from heaven, wrapped in mystery, so that only the spiritually mature will discern them. This is why others around you may look at you and not understand. They cannot read the language of revelation because their hearts are tuned to noise. But you, chosen one, have been tuned to frequency. You don't just hear words, you feel weight. You discern presence. You recognize when heaven leans close. Every chosen soul must go through this stage when heaven speaks something deep, then commands. Do not reveal it. This is not rejection, this is protection. You are being preserved from contamination. Once the message is exposed too early, opinions begin to mix with purity, and divine direction becomes diluted by human logic. That is why heaven often places a spiritual seal on revelation. It will not open until obedience completes its course. There will be nights when you feel the urge to share it, when the pressure of keeping quiet feels unbearable. In those moments, remember, the seal is your safeguard. What you carry is not fragile, it is holy, but it must be handled with care. You are being taught to steward the mysteries of God, not to advertise them. This is what separates the called from the chosen, the ability to keep sacred things sacred. Heaven notices your restraint. Every time you hold your tongue, you build spiritual credibility. Every time you choose silence over exposure, the Spirit entrusts you with more. The world rewards visibility, but heaven rewards secrecy. God sees what no one else does. When you sit in silence, processing divine truth through prayer, angels gather to protect the atmosphere around you. There is a shield that forms when a chosen one keeps their secret in obedience. It becomes a spiritual perimeter no darkness can cross. You are learning what it means to be trusted by God. That is no small thing. Trust from heaven is weightier than fame from men. Some never reach this place because they speak before they understand. But you have been refined by waiting, strengthened by withholding, matured by silence. God is not only speaking to you, He is speaking through your discipline. Remember, sacred things must remain wrapped in reverence. You are carrying divine information that could shift atmospheres, heal hearts, or even awaken nations, but only when the Lord gives the word. Until that moment, keep the seal intact. Whisper your prayers in secret. Protect the treasure. Heaven is watching your stewardship. And when the time comes, God Himself will unseal the message. And what was hidden in your heart will echo across generations. There is a sacred place where the world cannot reach you. Chosen one, a realm hidden beneath the shadow of His wings. In this secret dwelling, God shelters those who carry divine assignments too delicate for public eyes. You are not hidden because you are forgotten. You are hidden because you are being guarded. The silence that surrounds you now is not punishment, it is preparation. Heaven is protecting the seed inside you from voices that would crush it before it blooms. You may feel alone, but you are surrounded by divine presence. The Spirit walks beside you in the quiet corridors of obedience, whispering truths that can only be heard in stillness. You are being trained to recognize the voice of God apart from the noise of the world. That's why He led you into hiddenness. The calling you carry requires separation before manifestation. In these quiet moments, when the world does not see your progress, heaven does. Every sigh, every tear, every silent prayer rises like incense before the throne. You are seen, even when unseen. God is not testing your patience, He is perfecting your trust. This is where your roots go deep, where you learn to depend not on applause, but on presence. The prophet wrote in the scroll of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 1, "Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty." That verse is not just poetry, it is spiritual instruction. To dwell means to remain, to stay put. to resist the urge to rush out of divine protection. When God covers you, it's not to limit you, it's to shield what's forming. Every chosen vessel must spend time in this shadowed place before being revealed in light. You are learning endurance, humility, and spiritual discernment. There is peace in the hidden place, though at first it feels like isolation. The quietness forces you to listen, to feel, to understand what God is teaching you without distraction. It's where pride dies and purity grows. The hidden place removes every false identity you've worn. It strips away the noise, leaving only the truth of who you are before God. Sometimes you look around and wonder why others seem to be running ahead while you remain still. But remember, God's timing is precise. The tree that grows tallest spent the longest time underground, unseen, as roots dug deep to sustain what's coming. You are in that stage now. Every moment of silence is a divine investment in your future strength. And while you wait beneath His shadow, heaven works behind the scenes. Doors are being aligned, hearts are being prepared, paths are being cleared. The moment you step into the open, everything will already be in place. That is why God insists on your patience. He is aligning more than you can comprehend. In this sacred hiddenness, you may hear the voice of doubt. Have I been forgotten? But heaven answers softly. No, you are being protected. Every hidden chosen one must fight that whisper of insignificance. It is the final test before revelation, the battle between what you see and what you believe. Do not confuse divine silence with divine absence. The shepherd is always near. Even when he seems quiet, he hides you not to abandon you, but to fortify you. In the stillness, he strengthens your spirit for what's coming next. The light that will shine from you later would be unbearable if it appeared too soon. You must first learn to live in the shadow. Shadows are proof of light. They exist only because glory is near. You are in the proximity of divine brilliance. The shadow of the Almighty is not darkness, it is safety from premature exposure. There will come a moment when you feel an inner stirring, something telling you that the season of hiding is almost over. Until then, stay faithful in secrecy. Keep praying. Keep fasting. Keep learning. Heaven is marking you with quiet strength. When the day of unveiling comes, you will carry the fragrance of the secret place, the unmistakable scent of someone who has been with God. This season may seem long, but it is sacred. The world cannot comprehend what heaven is crafting inside of you. When the appointed time arrives, every hidden lesson, every quiet tear, every private victory will reveal its purpose. You will understand why God chose to hide you under His wings first, because those who rest there rise higher than any storm. And now, as this message reaches your heart, take a moment of stillness. Feel the presence of God hovering near you. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are in His shadow, exactly where you belong. If your spirit bears witness to these words, write this simple declaration below: I am covered. Type it not as a comment for attention, but as a prophetic affirmation, a public mark of your private faith. It means you understand that being hidden is holy. It means you agree that divine concealment is divine protection. It means you are ready to rest in the shadow until heaven says, "Now rise." There is a certain weight that comes with silence. Chosen one, a sacred heaviness that cannot be carried by just anyone. Heaven watches you in this season, not to test your strength alone, but to refine your spirit through restraint. You are learning the discipline of silence, the obedience of not responding to every impulse, and the maturity of allowing God to defend what He planted within you. The weight of silence is not empty, it is divine training. When God entrusts you with a revelation, a vision, or a promise, He often begins by placing you under divine stillness. This stillness is uncomfortable because the human heart craves expression, validation, and understanding. Yet, the Spirit whispers, "Not yet." Heaven hides its treasures until the vessel learns to hold them without spilling. You are that vessel now, learning that silence is not suppression, it is stewardship. There are moments when the revelation inside you burns like fire. You want to tell someone, to find relief in releasing what you've seen or heard. But the moment you open your mouth before the appointed time, the atmosphere around that revelation changes. The enemy listens too. Darkness feeds on information. And sometimes the only way to keep your anointing pure is to keep it private. Silence becomes your offering. It is your way of saying to God, "I trust you more than my need to be understood." Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 7, "A time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak." This scripture holds profound truth. It reveals that silence is not weakness but wisdom, a tool of divine timing. Knowing when to speak is as important as knowing what to say. God is teaching you both. He is refining your timing so that when the moment of release arrives, your words will carry heavenly weight and precision. Until then, the weight of silence purifies your motives. It strips away pride, impatience, and the craving for recognition. The longer you hold the secret in prayer, the more it transforms from information into revelation, from knowledge into wisdom. You begin to understand that some things are too holy to be explained, that there are experiences only heaven can interpret. The silence also reveals who truly walks with you. Some will grow distant because they cannot handle what they cannot see. They will misinterpret your quietness as coldness or pride. But you must not break your stillness to explain yourself. True spiritual maturity requires letting people misunderstand you while you stay faithful to the divine instruction. Remember, the one who called you sees everything. His approval outweighs their confusion. In this sacred stillness, you also begin to hear the subtle sounds of heaven, whispers you once missed in the noise. You start discerning divine direction in small details, a dream that repeats, a verse that glows in your spirit, a sense of peace when you take the right step. Silence amplifies the voice of God. It tunes you to frequency, allowing revelation to crystallize in clarity. Do not despise this phase. The greatest prophets, the mightiest kings, all walked through seasons of holy silence before their voices shook nations. Moses spent years in the desert before speaking to Pharaoh. Jesus spent 40 days in the wilderness before beginning his ministry. Even Paul spent years in obscurity before his letters changed history. You, too, are walking through divine quietness because God is crafting your authority in secret. The weight of silence is the womb of destiny. In that stillness, the word takes form inside you, just as the earth grows fruit beneath the surface long before harvest. Your spirit is forming what heaven will one day reveal. Every hour of waiting is shaping you into a vessel that can carry glory without cracking under pressure. There will be times when your emotions rebel, when your heart aches to speak, to share, to be heard. But every time you choose silence, heaven applauds. Your silence speaks louder in the spirit realm than your words ever could in the natural. It declares, "I trust the timing of God." It announces to unseen powers that you refuse to break divine order. In days ahead, you will look back and understand that the silence was never wasted. It was building power. When God finally says, "Now, your words will carry fire," not just sound. Your story will carry weight because it was born in obedience. And those who once overlooked you will recognize that you were never absent. You were in training beneath divine restraint. So, endure this silence with grace. Carry it like a crown, not a chain. Let it remind you that God trusts you with things too holy to speak prematurely. Each quiet day is proof that you have been chosen for depth, not display. One day, your silence will break not in noise, but in glory. And all heaven will say, "It was worth the wait." Chosen one. There comes a moment when heaven places you as a guardian of something sacred, something not yet ready for public eyes, yet already burning bright within your spirit. You feel it like a sealed scroll resting in your hands, humming with divine life. It's not a message to be shouted, it's a revelation to be carried with reverence. You have been selected not merely to know, but to guard. What God has whispered into your spirit is not a possession, it's a trust. You are a keeper of mysteries. That is why the weight has felt so heavy at times. What you carry is not just information, it's transformation wrapped in silence. To protect it, you must move wisely, like a shepherd guiding fragile lambs through storm and night. The wolves of doubt and curiosity will circle you, trying to pull your attention away from your sacred duty. But you must remain steady, silent, and faithful, holding what heaven placed within your heart until the appointed time. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 141, verse 3, "Set a guard over my mouth. Lord, keep watch over the door of my lips." David understood the cost of words. He knew that one sentence spoken outside of God's timing could unravel divine order. That is the same lesson heaven is teaching you now. When you choose to guard your lips, you guard your destiny. Every moment you choose silence over explanation, patience over pride, and obedience over opinion, you become more aligned with heaven's design. This season is your apprenticeship in divine discretion. Imagine a potter shaping clay. The vessel does not shout while it is being formed. It waits in stillness as the hands of the Creator smooth every line, every edge. You are that vessel. The pressure you feel is not punishment, it's precision. Every squeeze of silence, every pause of waiting, every withheld word is forming you into something that will one day carry living water to others. And, just like the potter's vessel, you are not made for display before you are strong enough to hold glory. Some of what you endure now, the misunderstandings, the loneliness, the quiet sacrifices, are the furnace that hardens your purpose. You are being prepared to carry the weight of revelation without cracking under human misunderstanding. There is beauty in being hidden. Seeds grow underground, away from applause. Yet everything that lives depends on them. The treasure is not in being seen, it's in being faithful. God sees your faithfulness in private and will one day honor it in public. The lamp of destiny burns slow and steady before it shines bright. Chosen one, as you listen to this, I ask you to pause and breathe. Let the truth of these words settle deep. You are not behind, you are in process. Heaven's timing is not delayed, it is deliberate. Now, if this message has touched something within you, if you feel that divine stirring, that quiet confirmation in your soul, then I invite you, with humility and sincerity, to take a small step that keeps this flame alive. Like this message, not as an act of routine, but as a symbolic yes to heaven's whisper. When you click that simple heart, you're saying, I hear you. Lord, I receive. Share it as a quiet act of obedience, not for numbers or noise, but to reach another soul who might be walking through their own silent preparation. You never know whose spirit is aching for this same reminder that being hidden doesn't mean being forgotten. If this ministry has become a voice of comfort or clarity to you, consider subscribing, not because of obligation, but because every time you stay connected, you strengthen a circle of light, an unseen fellowship of chosen ones who are learning, like you, to walk in divine secrecy and strength. And for those who feel a deeper pull, a tug of gratitude rising like incense in your heart if you feel led by the Spirit, consider sowing into this message through a small donation. See it not as payment, but as planting into purpose. When a seed leaves your hand, it enters heaven's soil. You may never know the full harvest it brings, but heaven will. Every drop of generosity keeps the oil flowing, allowing more messages like this to reach hearts that have forgotten how to listen, like rain nourishing hidden roots. Your support, whether through prayer, sharing, or giving, keeps the unseen garden of faith alive. This is not a transaction, it is partnership. Together, we are tending the vineyard of souls, ensuring that no chosen one forgets their worth, their purpose, or their calling. And as you continue walking this sacred path, remember that God trusts you. You have not been overlooked, you have been chosen to carry, to guard, to protect what others might mishandle. The mysteries in your spirit are not accidents, they are assignments. Hold them gently. Speak them only when heaven opens your lips. Until then, walk humbly, love deeply, and guard the treasure of revelation as though it were life itself. One day, when the time of unveiling arrives, all that you protected in silence will shine like gold refined in fire, and heaven will whisper, "Well done, faithful one. You guarded what was mine." There are moments, chosen one, when God does not speak to you through thunder or flame, but through the quiet covenant of secrecy. This is one of those moments. You have entered a divine agreement, one sealed not by words on paper, but by the Spirit Himself. You and God share something unseen, a private conversation, a sacred exchange of trust. You have been entrusted with insight, revelation, and direction that no one else around you could fully understand. It is not a burden, it is a bond. In this sacred covenant, heaven asks for your silence, not as a limitation but as protection. Some revelations lose their purity when spoken aloud too soon. That is why the Spirit urges you, keep this between us. You are learning that the deepest things of God are not shouted from stages, but whispered in secret places. You are learning that divine intimacy is not found in noise, but in stillness. Heaven speaks through the writings in the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 7. Surely the sovereign Lord does nothing without revealing his plan to his servants, the prophets. That means every divine move begins with a revelation. But notice God reveals first to his servants, not to spectators. Servants understand timing, secrecy, and obedience. They protect what is shown until heaven says, "Now release it." You are not simply a believer, you are a servant of the Most High, chosen to carry his message with reverent silence. This covenant between you and God is like a hidden flame, glowing quietly within. You may not understand all of it yet, but each day the Spirit will give you new clarity. Every quiet moment in prayer, every gentle nudge in your heart, every dream that lingers when you wake, these are pieces of a divine puzzle. God is revealing himself layer by layer. Do not rush the unveiling. Think of it like a pearl forming inside a shell. The process is unseen, slow, and sacred. The world sees only the final shimmer, not the years of quiet shaping beneath pressure. Your silence is that shell, protecting the treasure until it is ready to shine. This is not about secrecy for secrecy's sake. It's about maturity. The immature speak before understanding. The mature wait until revelation turns into wisdom. Your silence is your covenant seal. When you keep God's secrets, he keeps your destiny safe. When you hold back from revealing too much, you give heaven room to work freely. There is an authority that rests upon those who can be trusted with silence. Heaven knows that you will not misuse what you receive. That is why you've been given access others have not. You may wonder, why me? Because you have shown restraint when others sought recognition. You have chosen faith over visibility, obedience over explanation. God can build on that. The world rewards exposure, but heaven rewards discretion. Every time you resist the urge to reveal what you know, you are strengthening the covenant. Do not be surprised if you sense separation in this season. The divine covenant often demands isolation. You are being refined so that your voice will carry the weight of heaven when the time comes. Let the solitude sanctify you. Let the quiet become your teacher. In this covenant, your prayers become like keys, unlocking new levels of revelation. But remember, each key comes with responsibility. What you see, hear, and discern in the Spirit is not for public display. You are entrusted to pray it through, not post it out. Your conversations with God are not content. They are consecration. And when the moment of revelation comes, when you finally understand why you had to stay quiet, there will be glory. The pieces will fit together. You will see that every moment of waiting was divine strategy, not delay. You will thank God for the times he silenced you, because that silence kept you safe from spiritual sabotage. So, guard this covenant fiercely. Do not let curiosity or comparison break what God sealed. Protect the secret as a sacred vow. This is not a season to explain, it is a season to preserve. The less you speak, the more heaven reveals. The quieter you become, the louder heaven moves. And now, if these words echo within your spirit, if something deep inside confirms that you are indeed in covenant with heaven, seal it right now in the comments below by writing 444. Type it not as a number, but as a declaration. It symbolizes divine alignment, protection, and the firm establishment of what heaven has begun in your life. It says, I will guard what God has entrusted to me. Every time you write that number, you are reminding yourself and the unseen world that your covenant remains unbroken. Hold that number in your spirit as a reminder that heaven has your back. You are under divine watch. Every secret kept, every word withheld, every prayer whispered in the dark is being recorded in the light of eternity. And soon, the one who sees in secret will reward you openly. You, chosen one, are not forgotten. You are sealed. You are covered. You are bound by covenant to the heart of God Himself. Sometimes, chosen one, the knowledge that lives inside you feels too heavy to carry. Revelation has its own gravity. It bends your heart in ways words can't describe. You try to speak it, but human language fails. You want to share it, but something inside warns you to wait. That is the weight of revelation, a sacred pressure that both humbles and transforms. When God reveals something to you, it changes the architecture of your soul. You see the world differently, love differently, even hurt differently. Revelation opens your eyes, but it also burdens your heart. This is why many are called, but few are chosen. The chosen must carry what others cannot comprehend. You have seen things that silence you, felt truths that others would mock, and discerned patterns in life that most will never notice. You walk through ordinary days with extraordinary awareness, and sometimes that awareness aches. Heaven has trusted you with what it hides from others. It's not punishment, it's partnership. Revelation is not light, it's fire. It burns away illusions and comfort. It calls you to higher levels of surrender, obedience, and holiness. You cannot unknow what heaven has shown you. Once you see, you can never return to blindness. That's why the weight feels heavy. It's the pull of eternity resting on mortal shoulders. But take heart, chosen one. God does not reveal without also empowering. If He showed it to you, He will sustain you through it. The prophet Isaiah recorded this truth generations ago. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 9, "As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." Those words are more than ancient wisdom, they are divine comfort. They remind you that revelation will often confuse before it clarifies. You are being invited into a higher dimension of understanding, one that stretches your faith and purifies your motives. When heaven opens your eyes, it's not to overwhelm you, but to align you with a greater plan. The heaviness you feel is not a curse, it's proof that God still speaks. The world has grown numb to mystery, addicted to noise and instant answers. But you, chosen one, are different. You are being retrained to handle mystery again, to sit quietly in divine questions without demanding immediate clarity. Revelation asks you to trust even when you do not understand. But revelation will also isolate you. The more you see, the fewer people you can explain it to. Others might think you're exaggerating, dramatic, or too spiritual. Let them think what they will. The deeper your understanding, the smaller your circle becomes. You will learn that not every friend can travel with you into the sacred chamber of revelation. Some will stay outside the veil, content with surface faith. You must love them from a distance, but walk faithfully into the mystery alone. That loneliness has a purpose. It trains your ears to hear heaven's tone without distortion. When you stop seeking validation from people, you begin to hear the subtleties of God's voice, the sigh, the pause, the unspoken directions that guide your steps. In time, you'll realize that solitude was your seminary, The silence was your classroom. The tears were your textbooks. And in that quiet suffering, something powerful begins to happen. Revelation turns into compassion. You start to carry not only knowledge, but empathy. You understand why others stumble, because you've seen the traps before they did. You forgive quicker, love deeper, and speak gentler, because your insight has been baptized in pain. Revelation without compassion becomes arrogance. But revelation, tempered by brokenness, becomes healing. God is forming you into a healer, not a herald. When the heaviness feels unbearable, remember, this revelation is never given for curiosity. It is given for transformation. You were not shown these things to boast. You were shown them so you could build, intercede, and protect. Every spiritual burden is a call to partnership. You are walking with heaven, carrying light into unseen realms. So do not despise the weight. Embrace it as sacred proof that heaven trusts you. Let the heaviness push you into deeper prayer, not despair. Lay what you cannot carry at His feet daily. For revelation is not meant to crush you, but to shape you. And when your shoulders tremble under the invisible load, remember that the same God who revealed will also restore. In time, this weight will turn to wisdom. This fire will turn to light. And what feels like pressure will become power. You will speak with quiet authority because you have carried what others only imagine. The burden of knowing will become the blessing of understanding. And when you finally step into the season where revelation becomes reality, you will see that every tear you shed was watering the soil of purpose. Nothing has been wasted, not your silence, not your confusion, not your loneliness. All of it has been shaping the kind of vessel heaven can trust. There is a reason God guards His plans in silence. Chosen one, what is precious must be protected. The moment heaven releases revelation, the enemy begins to prowl. Darkness is not creative, it cannot invent truth, so it hunts for what is holy to distort or destroy it. That is why divine wisdom often arrives wrapped in mystery, hidden inside those who can be trusted to protect it. You are one of those entrusted ones. You have felt it before the sudden urge to tell someone what you sense in your spirit. The excitement that burns when you receive understanding. But right after, something restrains you. An inner caution that whispers, "Not yet." That is the Spirit's protection. It is not fear, but discernment. There is a spiritual danger in oversharing, because revelation, once exposed to the wrong atmosphere, can lose its purity. What was meant to grow in the soil of faith can wither under the heat of disbelief. Many great callings have been delayed because someone revealed too much, too soon. When God gives you insight, He expects you to treat it as sacred property. Think of it like a seed once it leaves your hand before the ground is ready. It cannot take root. The danger lies not only in what you say, but in who hears it. Not every listener has the capacity to handle holy truth. Some will misunderstand it, others will mock it. A few might even weaponize it. But you, chosen one, have been called to a higher level of discernment, to know when to speak and when to stay silent. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. That single verse holds a spiritual strategy for every chosen soul. Stillness is not passivity, it's faith in motion. When you remain silent, you are declaring to the unseen realm that God's defense is greater than your explanation. You no longer waste energy trying to justify what heaven has already approved. You no longer fight to be understood. Your stillness becomes your shield. Oversharing often comes from pain, the longing to be believed, the desire to prove that what you carry is real. But heaven is asking you to release that need. You do not have to convince anyone of your calling. The evidence will appear in due time. Every divine promise carries its own proof. When the fruit begins to show, even your critics will be silenced. Until then, guard the seed. Think of Joseph, who shared his dreams with his brothers, only to be thrown into a pit. His revelation was true, but his timing was premature. The dream was divine, but the audience was wrong. The pit became his classroom, teaching him when to speak and when to wait. By the time he reached Pharaoh's palace, Joseph had learned that wisdom is not only knowing what God said, but also knowing when to reveal it. That same lesson is being written into your life right now. There are people who will not understand the visions that wake you at night or the burdens that drive you to prayer. Some will dismiss your discernment as emotion. Others will say, "You're overthinking." But God sees your spiritual sensitivity as strength. He placed those impressions in your heart because you can be trusted to hold them, even when no one affirms you. Every time you choose silence instead of sharing, you frustrate the plans of darkness. The enemy cannot attack what he does not know. Your silence blinds him. It confuses his strategy. When you stop revealing everything you feel, think, and dream, you begin to move like a warrior cloaked in light, visible to heaven but hidden from harm. In this hiddenness, heaven trains your speech. Your words will no longer be casual, they will become weapons of accuracy. Each one will carry divine weight because it has been refined through restraint. The less you speak, the more your words will matter. When the day comes for you to speak, your voice will pierce through confusion like lightning across the night sky. Do not mistake quietness for weakness. Even Jesus, before his resurrection, stood silent before his accusers. He could have revealed his identity with a single word, yet he chose silence because the cross required it. That same restraint lives inside you. The strength to stay silent is greater than the impulse to prove yourself. So guard your revelation as if it were treasure, because it is. Write your visions down. Pray over them. Let the Spirit interpret them over time. You are not hoarding, you are incubating. What you hold in your spirit is in gestation. If you protect it long enough, it will birth something far greater than words could express. And remember this truth: silence is not emptiness, it is protection, purity, and power. You are not hiding your light, you are allowing it to mature before it shines. When the appointed time comes, your revelation will speak for itself. Those who doubted will see. Those who mocked will marvel. But for now, be still. Heaven fights while you stay silent. Hiddenness is not punishment. Chosen one, it is promotion disguised as silence. In the quiet, heaven sharpens what the world has dulled. You are being trained in secret discipline, where obedience becomes instinct and stillness becomes strength. The world celebrates visibility, but God celebrates refinement. Every time you choose the path of patience instead of performance, you are stepping into deeper alignment with divine order. This is the discipline of hiddenness, an invisible university where God teaches you to value presence over praise. It is not an easy place. It strips you of old habits, the need for validation, the hunger for applause. Yet within it, you are learning something most never do: how to carry glory without pride, and how to remain gentle while holding power. Many resist this process because it feels lonely. They mistake obscurity for rejection. But heaven hides what it intends to protect. Just as a seed must remain buried to grow, your calling must mature underground before it breaks the surface. If the soil were removed too early, the roots would die. That's why God keeps you covered. It's not isolation, it's incubation. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Every divine word, every whisper, every promise spoken over your life has its appointed hour. No amount of striving can accelerate divine timing. What you can do, however, is prepare while you wait. Heaven watches your attitude. Do you still serve with joy when unseen? Do you still pray when answers don't come? Do you still praise when applause is silent? Those moments are the real tests of greatness. Hidden seasons are like night gardens. Growth happens where no one can see it. You are being taught to trust the process, even when it feels endless. Every unnoticed act of faithfulness, every prayer whispered in darkness, every quiet act of love is a seed heaven is watering. The harvest may not be visible yet, but it is inevitable. Discipline in hiddenness means learning to master your emotions. There will be days when discouragement whispers, "You've been forgotten." But faith must answer, "I am being formed." The potter never abandons the clay mid-creation. The silence between his words is still filled with purpose. During this season, God may remove certain people from your circle, not because they are evil, but because they are not equipped for your next level. You cannot take everyone into the secret chamber of preparation. Some were meant to witness your growth, not participate in it. The smaller your circle becomes, the clearer your hearing grows. This hiddenness also purifies your motives. When no one is watching, the only audience left is God. He sees every sacrifice you make without applause, every temptation you resist without recognition. These unseen victories build the foundation of spiritual authority. When the public moment finally comes, you will speak from substance, not theory. Hiddenness is a holy weightlifting gym. Every repetition of silence strengthens your spiritual muscles. You are learning endurance, resilience, and humility. Heaven is shaping you to move in authority that doesn't need validation. Your faithfulness in obscurity will become your anointing in visibility. There will be moments when God remains silent, not to punish, but to purify. He is testing your dependency. Will you still trust Him when the spotlight is off, when the doors are closed, when no one says your name? That's when true loyalty is forged. Heaven does not crown the talented, it crowns the faithful. As you endure this, remind yourself that even Jesus lived 30 years in silence before 3 years of ministry. Heaven never rushes. Power that is rushed becomes unstable. Power that is refined becomes unstoppable. So, do not fight this quiet season, embrace it. Let the stillness teach you how to rest, how to discern, how to endure. Let it train your eyes to see the invisible movements of grace that sustain your days. There is purpose in every delay and divine design in every disappointment. When you finally emerge, you won't just carry revelation, you will embody wisdom. You'll know how to speak with measured grace, how to lead without losing yourself, how to love without demanding reward. You'll realize that the hidden season was not a pause in your story, it was the foundation of your destiny. And now, as this message settles into your heart, mark your agreement with heaven in a simple act of declaration. Write these 3 words below: I am ready. Type them not for attention but as a seal of surrender. It is your quiet yes to the divine process. It says, I trust the waiting. I accept the shaping. I choose the timing of heaven over the timeline of men. When you declare those words, you align yourself with every chosen one who learned to embrace hiddenness before honor. You are not in delay. You are in divine preparation. Stay faithful. Your unveiling is closer than you think. Chosen one, there is a cost to carrying secrets from heaven. Every calling carries a price, and yours has been paid not in coins, but in tears, in endurance, and in the unseen sacrifices you've made in silence. You know this weight, the kind that sits quietly on the soul, reminding you that obedience is never free. It demands your comfort, your reputation, and sometimes even your sleep. Yet every cost has purpose. God wastes nothing, and even your pain has become a holy offering. You have walked through seasons when you felt misunderstood by everyone around you. You tried to explain the fire burning inside, but words failed. And so, you learned to stay quiet. What you didn't realize was that this silence was the very tool heaven used to polish you. Every unanswered question, every unspoken thought, every lonely night was a forge shaping your heart into something precious and indestructible. The Word of God declares in the 2nd letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 17, For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. That verse, chosen one, is not abstract, it is your story. Every unseen battle, every tear, every disappointment has been recorded in heaven's archive. Nothing has gone unnoticed. God is not ignoring your effort. He is storing your obedience as currency for future glory. What you've paid in silence, you'll reap in radiance. The cost of carrying secrets is not punishment, it is refinement. Like gold in a furnace, you've been placed under fire so your purity can shine. Every delay is removing another layer of doubt. Every heartbreak is pruning away what cannot travel with you into the next season. You are not being punished, you are being purified. Sometimes, carrying divine revelation feels like walking with a sealed lantern through the night. You can't let it spill its light too soon, or the wind will snuff it out. So you hold it close, guarding the flame with trembling hands, trusting that when dawn comes, that same lantern will guide others home. You are that lantern bearer. Your hidden obedience today is lighting the path for generations yet unseen. But even lanterns need oil. The oil of your calling flows from prayer, reflection, and generosity. Every time you pour into others, even in small ways, heaven replenishes your light. So, if this message has poured strength into you, if you felt heaven stirring as you listen, then let your gratitude become an act of connection, like the widow who brought oil to the prophet. You can keep the flame of this message burning by simply supporting it. Click like, not for vanity, but as a sign of unity, saying, I walk in this revelation too. Share this message not for fame, but to extend the light into places where hearts have grown cold and weary. Your one act of sharing might be the rope that pulls someone out of despair. If you haven't yet, subscribe, not for routine, but for consistency in your journey. These messages are like stepping stones across a river. Each one keeps you moving toward your divine purpose. When you stay connected, you are not just listening, you are walking with heaven. And for those who feel a deeper stirring, a whisper that says, "I want to help keep this flame alive," you can give, not out of pressure, but out of love. Think of it not as donation, but as cultivation. Every seed you sow here helps carry light into more hearts, more nations, more lives aching for divine truth. What leaves your hand never leaves your life. It multiplies in unseen fields. Your giving is like water on the roots of this message, ensuring it continues to bear fruit long after this moment passes. Beloved, the cost of carrying revelation is heavy, but the reward is holy. One day, when the curtain lifts, you will see how every sacrifice became a stepping stone. You'll see how every withheld word, every quiet act of faith, every lonely night of prayer built a bridge for others to cross. You are not just enduring, you are constructing destiny through obedience. Remember, this obedience rarely feels glamorous, but it is the purest form of worship. God measures greatness not by how loud you speak, but by how deeply you trust. The silence you've kept, the patience you've shown, the kindness you've given, all of it echoes louder in heaven than the applause of crowds. So, continue walking in grace. Continue guarding what God has entrusted, and let your heart remain open to give, to receive, and to keep the oil flowing. When you support the light, you share in its reward. When you share the message, you multiply its reach. When you listen and obey, you honor the covenant between you and heaven. The cost of your calling will never outweigh its glory. One day, you'll look back and realize that every hidden pain was preparation for the unveiling. And when that day comes, your endurance will not only bless you, it will ignite others. You will stand as proof that silence was never weakness, but sacred strength. There will come a time, chosen one, when the silence surrounding your journey begins to draw attention. People will look at your life, puzzled by your restraint, confused by your peace. They will wonder why you no longer chase what once consumed you. They will ask questions that you cannot answer, because the truth you carry is not meant for open conversation. What God has spoken to you in secret cannot be measured by human logic. It must remain sacred. This is one of the hardest parts of being chosen, the realization that not everyone will understand you. You will be misunderstood, misjudged, and misread. Some will think you have changed. Others will think you are hiding something. And they are right, you are hiding something. But not in shame. You are hiding something holy. You are carrying divine instructions that cannot yet be revealed. It is written in the Gospel of John, chapter 16, verse 12. I have much more to say to you, more than you can now bear. Jesus spoke those words to his disciples, and they still echo through eternity. There are truths too heavy for the unprepared. God reveals in layers, according to maturity. That is why he has drawn boundaries around your revelation. You are learning that wisdom is not just knowing truth, it is knowing when and how to share it. The immature speak everything they know, the wise wait for God's cue. So, when people press you for explanations, when they ask why you are distant, why you move differently. Why you no longer argue or explain. Remember, silence is not avoidance, it is obedience. There is a divine dignity in restraint. You are protecting what is still growing inside you. Not everyone can handle the light you carry. Some would rather debate it than honor it. This is not arrogance, it is stewardship. You are not better than others, but you are being prepared differently. The revelation in your spirit is alive, it breathes, it evolves, it deepens with time. Exposing it too soon is like forcing a butterfly from its cocoon before its wings are ready. You are being asked to hold your peace while heaven completes its work. You may have noticed that conversations feel shallower than before. The topics that once excited you now seem trivial. You are no longer drawn to gossip or argument. This is not withdrawal, it is transformation. God has elevated your spirit's frequency, tuning you to a higher channel. Those who still dwell in noise cannot hear what you now discern in silence. Sometimes, you will feel the sting of being left out. Invitations will stop coming. Relationships will fade. People will misinterpret your stillness as pride or indifference. Let them. They do not know that heaven has placed you in a chamber of refinement. They cannot see the invisible work being done on your soul. One day, when the time of revealing arrives, even those who misunderstood you will realize that your distance was divine. Do not waste energy defending your calling. The truth needs no defense, it only needs time. Every misunderstanding will serve a purpose. Every false assumption will refine your humility. The very people who question your silence now will one day seek your wisdom. They will recognize that you were not avoiding them, you were answering to a higher authority. This is how God protects His chosen. He hides you behind misinterpretation. He uses misunderstanding as camouflage. Those who cannot discern your heart are simply not meant to carry your revelation. Their distance is divine protection, what they call mystery. Heaven calls mercy. You are walking through the sacred corridor between revelation and manifestation. It is narrow, lonely, and misunderstood, yet it is necessary. God is teaching you to be content with being unseen, to find peace in being misunderstood, and to trust that vindication will come not through words but through fruit. And fruit takes time. The tree does not argue with the field, it simply grows until its fruit speaks for itself. You are that tree. Each act of obedience adds another ring to your spiritual trunk. Each moment of restraint deepens your roots. You do not need to prove what is already evident in heaven's eyes. As you continue in this journey, remind yourself that understanding is not your responsibility, obedience is. You are not called to convince, you are called to carry. The vision you hold will eventually speak for itself. Those who mocked your silence will one day thank you for your endurance. Those who misunderstood your boundaries will one day be blessed by your fruit. Let peace be your language and stillness your strength. Continue to guard your mystery with grace. For what you carry is not meant for explanation, it is meant for demonstration. When the appointed time arrives, your life itself will preach the message you could never fully explain. Until that day, walk gently, love quietly, and stay faithful. Let your silence become a song only heaven can hear. Chosen one, there comes a sacred point in every divine journey when silence turns into covenant. You are no longer merely withholding your words, you are safeguarding heaven's instructions. The things you've heard in the secret place are not random, they are divine assignments sealed between you and God. What He has shown you in prayer, what he has whispered in the stillness, and what he has burned into your heart. All of it is part of a hidden agreement written in light, not ink. Heaven has always worked through covenants. Abraham's stars, Moses' tablets, David's throne, all were born from private encounters that shaped public history. You are walking in that same rhythm. God has written something inside of you, a command, a revelation, a direction that only your obedience can fulfill. The reason he has not yet told you to speak it aloud is because the covenant must first mature in silence before it manifests in power. This quiet commitment feels heavy at times, doesn't it? You sense the pull between wanting to act and waiting for God's word. Yet heaven keeps you still, reminding you that real strength is not in motion, but in mastery of timing. What you are guarding right now is holy ground. If you were to rush, to reveal, to act before the command, the ground could fracture beneath the weight of premature movement. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 37, "Let your yes be yes, and your no, no. Anything beyond this comes from the evil one." That verse may seem simple, yet it is the essence of covenant. God is teaching you that your word must carry the weight of heaven's truth. To agree with him in secret is to bind yourself to divine order. Your yes in the secret place activates unseen forces in the spiritual realm. Your no against temptation, compromise, or fear reinforces heaven's boundaries around your destiny. This covenant of concealment is not about silence alone, it's about loyalty. When God trusts you with revelation, he watches how you handle it. Do you protect it like treasure? Or do you trade it for attention? The true chosen ones are not those who speak first, but those who endure the waiting, who refuse to turn divine revelation into public entertainment. You may feel at times that the world has forgotten you, but heaven has not. Every day of your obedience echoes in eternity. Angels are assigned to those who honor divine secrecy. You are surrounded by unseen witnesses who celebrate your restraint, who marvel at your ability to hold your peace when everything in you wants to release it. And as this covenant deepens, your discernment will sharpen. You'll begin to recognize when a conversation is safe and when it is a trap. You'll feel a check in your spirit before you reveal too much. These nudges are not paranoia. They are divine signals guiding you through spiritual minefields. God is teaching you spiritual discretion, the rare ability to move quietly while carrying greatness. This is the mark of maturity, to carry power without announcing it, to hold revelation without seeking recognition. The higher God calls you, the quieter your spirit must become. Noise is for the crowd, clarity is for the called. You are learning to let your silence thunder louder than words. There will come a moment when heaven releases you to speak, but not before the covenant within you is sealed completely. Until then, your role is to protect, to pray, to polish what God has placed inside. Each time you choose silence over impulse, heaven strengthens the walls around your promise. Each time you pray instead of posting, God breathes fresh life into your calling. This covenant is not one-sided. As you protect God's secrets, he protects your destiny. As you keep his words safe, he keeps your path secure. What you withhold for his sake today will one day become your testimony of triumph. The promise that feels hidden will one day unfold in the open, and all will see that your patience was not weakness, it was wisdom. And now, chosen one, if you feel that this message resonates deep within you, if you sense that heaven is confirming this covenant in your heart right now, then seal it with a prophetic act. Type 555 below. Write it not as routine, but as declaration. That number symbolizes divine grace in transition, heaven's favor, resting on those who stand faithfully in the in-between. It is your way of saying, I accept the covenant. I will wait for the appointed time. I will not reveal until God releases. When you type that number, imagine it as a signature written in light, your agreement etched in eternity. Let it remind you that the God who trusted you with silence will one day trust you with nations. You are chosen, sealed, and covered. Heaven's covenant rests upon you. Guard it well, for it guards you in return. There are times, chosen one, when heaven closes your mouth so that your life may become the sermon. Words lose power when spoken outside divine timing, but actions silent, steady, surrendered speak with a language only eternity can translate. You are entering such a season now. God has not silenced you to punish you, but to let His glory grow roots in your behavior, not merely in your speech. The deepest lessons of obedience are rarely taught in noise. They unfold in the long pauses between your prayers and God's answers. When you no longer hear Him speak, it is not because He has withdrawn, it is because He is watching. You have learned to listen. Now heaven is teaching you to live what you've heard. This is the maturing of revelation, the shift from inspiration to embodiment. When heaven silences your voice, it often means the message has moved inside you. It is no longer something you say. It becomes something you are. That is how the anointing multiplies through transformation, not repetition. God is refining you into the kind of vessel that carries presence without needing to explain it. Your silence becomes the proof that you have heard from Him. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 26, it is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. That single verse contains a universe of wisdom. It teaches that waiting quietly is not passive, it is participation in God's unseen work. When you stay still, when you refuse to react in fear or frustration, you are aligning your spirit with heaven's rhythm. The quiet becomes an altar where patience burns like incense before God. You are learning to trust the process, even when progress is invisible. In this silence, heaven begins to rewrite your instincts. You start recognizing divine patterns you once overlooked, the gentle repetitions of grace that appear in daily life. A delay that frustrates you today will one day be recognized as divine protection. A closed door will later reveal itself as a hidden redirection. The absence of answers is not evidence of abandonment. It is a sign that heaven is building something bigger than your understanding can hold. You are being trained in spiritual posture. When God silences you, He is teaching you how to stand still while the winds shift. Every chosen vessel must learn the art of composure, how to remain rooted while storms swirl. You are discovering that your peace is your most powerful testimony. When others panic, your calm will speak louder than 1,000 sermons. This divine quietness also exposes the motives of those around you. Some people only draw near when your words benefit them. When heaven takes your voice, their true intentions surface. Do not be alarmed when silence rearranges your circle. God is filtering your connections through the sieve of purpose. Those who are meant to walk with you will not need explanations. They will sense your spirit even when you do not speak. There is strength in this restraint. You are no longer compelled to answer every question, to justify every decision, or to argue every misunderstanding. Silence becomes your sanctuary. In that stillness, God fights for you. The less you defend yourself, the more He defends you. Every time you hold your tongue in obedience, heaven releases unseen armies to protect your reputation and your destiny. This season of divine silence is holy ground. Your daily life becomes the message, your actions the parable. You will find yourself walking with a peace that confuses onlookers. They will wonder how you remain so calm, not realizing that the very silence they question is your source of strength. There will be days when you long to speak, when the urge to explain or vent grows overwhelming. But remember, every restrained word becomes a seed planted in spiritual soil. In time, it will blossom into wisdom and favor. The restraint you practice now is the foundation of the authority you will carry later. God silences His chosen not to mute them, but to tune them, like an instrument in the hands of a master musician. Your pauses are as important as your notes. The song of your destiny needs silence between the sound. Without it, there would be no rhythm, only noise. This stillness is not the end of your voice, it is its purification. When the appointed time comes, you will speak again, but your words will no longer echo with uncertainty. They will carry a resonance born from stillness, a tone shaped by intimacy with heaven. People will listen, not because of eloquence, but because they will sense the weight of truth behind every syllable. Until then, let the silence shape you. Let it soften your edges, deepen your patience, and refine your faith. The quiet season is the womb of your next revelation. Every hidden day is a verse being written by your obedience. When God finally releases your voice again, it will not sound the same. It will carry eternity in its tone. You are not being silenced. You are being strengthened. Your words are not lost. They are maturing inside you. And when heaven says, "Now," your life itself will testify that silence was never absence, but sacred preparation. Here is a kind of reward, chosen one, that cannot be seen by eyes or measured by hands. It is not found in applause, recognition, or status. It is hidden deep within obedience, the kind of reward that only heaven can give. This is the hidden reward that grows from every secret act of faithfulness, every quiet surrender, every unseen battle won in silence. It is the treasure that God gives not to the loud, but to the loyal. The path you walk may seem thankless, but heaven keeps perfect records. Every time you chose humility instead of pride, forgiveness instead of resentment, patience instead of panic, heaven marked it down. You have been building an invisible inheritance, and though no one on earth may applaud you for it, eternity is already preparing to unveil it. It is written in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 4, "Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you." Those words are a mirror of your life right now. You are living inside that promise. God has seen what no one else saw, the nights you cried but still believed, the days you were weary but still served, the prayers you whispered when hope seemed far away. Every hidden act has been woven into a tapestry of reward that heaven will reveal at the right moment. This is the paradox of divine reward. It begins invisible. While the world measures success by visibility, God measures it by purity. What is unseen to men is precious to heaven. The blessings you have not yet seen are already alive, germinating beneath the soil of your obedience. The longer they remain unseen, the deeper their roots grow. Hidden rewards do not come as sudden wealth or fame, they come as strength, peace, and discernment. You may not have everything the world values, but you have something rarer: contentment, that inner stillness you feel after prayer, that calm in the middle of chaos that is your reward unfolding in real time. The hidden reward is not always external. Often, it's transformation. The way you react differently now, the patience that replaced frustration, the compassion that replaced bitterness, those are signs that heaven has already rewarded you. Your heart has changed. Your vision has cleared. Your spirit has matured. This, too, is divine prosperity. God's hidden reward also comes through preservation. There are disasters you never saw, betrayals you never experienced, losses you were quietly spared from. That protection was not luck, it was reward. Sometimes, heaven rewards you not by adding something to your life, but by removing something that would have harmed you. And perhaps the greatest hidden reward of all is intimacy. Every moment you've spent in silence with God has drawn you closer to His heartbeat. You've learned to recognize His presence not through miracles but through nearness. That closeness, the awareness that He is with you even when you feel alone, is the crown only the faithful receive. It cannot be bought, borrowed, or explained. It must be lived. The hidden reward is slow to reveal itself because heaven works through process. You are not waiting for blessings, you are becoming the blessing. The more you walk in alignment, the more your very life becomes an answer to someone's prayer. People will encounter you and feel peace without understanding why. That's what happens when the invisible reward begins to overflow. It touches others without words. In time, what has been hidden will rise. The reward that began as inner peace will manifest as outward fruit. Doors will open without you knocking. Opportunities will find you because heaven's favor is now magnetized to your obedience. You will notice divine coincidences, timely help, unexpected provision, people appearing at the exact moment you need them. None of it will be random. It will be the harvest of what you sowed in secret. But even then, your heart will remain anchored in humility, because the greatest reward is not what you receive, it's who you become through obedience. The transformation of your spirit, the maturity of your love, the steadfastness of your faith, these are eternal rewards that cannot fade. You will walk in a quiet strength that the world cannot imitate, a peace that no storm can shake. So do not envy the visible success of others. Many shine briefly, but only those who walk with God shine eternally. Your hidden reward will outlast temporary praise. When God reveals it, it will not only elevate you, but inspire others to seek Him in the secret place. Your journey of silence and secrecy was never wasted. Every step was an offering, every tear an investment, every moment of restraint a building block in heaven's treasury. The reward is coming not in noise, but in undeniable evidence. And when it arrives, you will recognize it not by its size, but by its peace. Until that unveiling, remain faithful. Keep walking in quiet obedience. The one who sees in secret has already prepared your crown, and it fits perfectly. Chosen one, you have walked through silence, obedience, and sacrifice, and now heaven stands ready to unfold what was once hidden. This is the revelation reserved for the faithful. Not everyone who starts the journey endures long enough to witness the unveiling, but you have, through the waiting, through the weeping, through the quiet endurance. You have proven trustworthy. What God placed within you is now beginning to glow through your life like dawn breaking through the night. The faithful always carry light that others can sense. It's not loud or showy, it's like a steady flame in a lantern on a dark road. Those walking near you feel hope again, though they may not know why. You've become a vessel of unseen fire, a walking testimony that secrecy can give birth to power. Heaven's reward is now rippling through your words, your presence, your peace. It was proclaimed in the second book of Chronicles, chapter 15, verse 7. But as for you, be strong and do not give up, for your work will be rewarded. That promise was not written for ancient warriors alone, it was written for you. Every quiet act of obedience, every moment of restraint, every unseen offering you've made has built a legacy that heaven honors. You are now standing at the threshold where purpose meets manifestation. This is why your waiting was never wasted. Heaven was synchronizing events beyond your sight, aligning hearts, circumstances, and moments with precision you could not calculate. What felt like delay was divine restraint, preventing premature exposure. God was not slowing you down, He was protecting the outcome. Now that alignment is complete. Resistance fades, momentum increases, and grace begins to move ahead of you instead of behind you. And yet, even in this season of unveiling, your humility must remain your anchor. Just as a tree bends when it bears fruit, you must bow even lower as God begins to elevate you. The more light you carry, the softer your spirit must become, because this revelation is not about boasting, it's about becoming. You've seen what happens when power is misused, when revelation becomes spectacle, but you are not called to that path. You are called to be a lighthouse, steady, silent, guiding others safely to shore without demanding applause. Your light does not compete with darkness, it simply shines until shadows retreat. Chosen one, if this message resonates in your soul, if something in you feels that quiet confirmation, then let your agreement become participation. Show it not through noise, but through genuine support that keeps this divine light alive. Like this message, if it speaks to your journey, that single gesture is more than a digital click. It is your way of saying, I recognize the truth in this. It's a soft whisper to heaven I receive. Share this message, not as routine, but as seed. You never know who among your friends is silently struggling, waiting for a sign that they, too, are not forgotten. Your share could be the candle that lights another's night. The ripple of your obedience might reach someone you will never meet, but who desperately needs this reminder. And if these messages have become nourishment for your spirit, if they've helped you find peace where you once felt confusion, then consider subscribing. This journey is not meant to be traveled alone. Staying connected ensures that every new word heaven pours through this vessel reaches you right on time. Think of it as staying near the stream. When you remain close, the water never runs dry. For those who feel moved more deeply, who sense that divine tug to pour back into what has poured into you, I invite you to sow, not from pressure, but from purpose. Giving here is not a transaction, it's transformation. It keeps the message alive for countless others searching for light in the dark. Your donation, no matter how small, is like a drop of oil added to the lamp. The light shines farther, brighter, reaching those standing at the edges of despair. You become part of the fire that warms weary hearts. You join in heaven's quiet work of healing and awakening. Your support is not just seen, it's felt. Every gift, every prayer, every act of sharing fuels this flow of revelation that has touched lives across oceans and generations. You are not giving to a voice, you are giving through one, extending heaven's hand to someone else. So, as you pause here, reflect on this truth. You have become both receiver and transmitter of divine light. What was once private revelation is now public ministry. What was once silence has become song, and every simple act, liking, sharing, subscribing, giving, is a brushstroke in the painting God is making through you. Do not underestimate your small gestures. A single spark can ignite 1,000 candles. The world is full of souls waiting for someone to remind them that heaven still speaks. You, chosen one, are part of that reminder. And as this message draws to a close, take a moment to breathe. Feel the peace that lingers in your chest. That's heaven's confirmation. You are no longer walking in secrecy alone. You are walking in shared revelation. The light you guard is growing stronger. The promise you protected is about to speak for itself. Now, if this word has touched something deep within you, leave a simple mark of faith in the comments. I still believe. Type it, not to be seen by others, but to seal your own spirit in agreement. It is your declaration that no matter what comes next, your faith remains steady, your obedience remains pure, and your heart remains open to God's next instruction. Because the revelation reserved for the faithful does not end here, it multiplies through you. There is a shift approaching, chosen one, subtle, almost imperceptible at first, yet undeniable once it begins. You may feel it like a change in the air, a quiet acceleration in your spirit. What was once restrained is starting to loosen. What was once sealed is beginning to breathe. This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for the divine release. Not rushed, not forced, but perfectly timed. For so long, your life has felt like a held breath. You learned to wait, to guard, to obey without explanation. You mastered silence when every instinct urged you to speak. And now, something new is happening. God is not changing his mind, he is completing his work. The season of containment is giving way to the season of expression. What was hidden is not being exposed carelessly. It is being released intentionally. This release does not come with chaos. It arrives with clarity. You will not need to announce it. You will recognize it. Doors that once resisted will open without struggle. Conversations will shift naturally. Opportunities will arise without striving. You will notice that you are no longer forcing movement. Movement is responding to you. That is how divine release works. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Psalms, chapter 102, verse 13, you will arise and have compassion on Zion, for it is time to show favor to her. The appointed time has come. That sentence carries a powerful truth. Heaven works by appointed time. Nothing in your life has been early or late. Every delay, every pause, every season of silence was calibrated. When God arises, it is never accidental, it is always on schedule. The favor now approaching your life is not random kindness. It is the fulfillment of timing long established in the unseen. You are not stepping forward because you demanded movement. You are stepping forward because heaven has stood up on your behalf. The compassion of God is activating what restraint once protected. What you guarded in silence is now being honored in motion. You will notice that your words carry different weight now. When you speak, people listen not because you are louder, but because you are clearer. There is authority in your tone that did not exist before, born from obedience rather than ambition. You no longer speak to convince, you speak to confirm. What you say resonates because it has already been lived. This release will also reveal how much you have changed. Situations that once intimidated you will feel smaller. Conflicts that once drained you will no longer hook your emotions. You will respond instead of react. That is a sign of readiness. Heaven does not release power into unstable vessels. The calm you carry now is proof that you can be trusted with more. Do not expect everyone to celebrate this shift. Some will feel uncomfortable when you move freely after being quiet for so long. They were accustomed to your silence, not prepared for your authority. Let them adjust. This release is not about their comfort. It is about divine order being restored in your life. You are not emerging to compete. You are emerging to complete what God assigned. The divine release is not a spotlight. It is a green light. It does not demand attention. It grants permission. You will sense an inner yes where there was once a restraint. Decisions that once felt heavy will feel light. Paths that were confusing will become obvious. The Spirit is no longer saying wait, He is saying walk. Yet even now, humility remains your safeguard. Release does not cancel dependence. The same God who taught you silence will teach you speech. The same Spirit who guarded your secrecy will guide your visibility. Stay close. Stay listening. Divine release is not independence, it is deeper partnership. You are stepping into a flow that has already been prepared. People, resources, and timing are aligning because heaven moved first. You are simply responding. This is why peace accompanies the release. Anxiety belongs to self-driven movement. Peace belongs to God-ordered transition. As you move forward, remember what carried you here: obedience, restraint, trust. Do not abandon them now. The habits formed in hiding are what will keep you grounded in visibility. You are not leaving the secret place, you are bringing it with you. What unfolds next will not feel dramatic, but it will be decisive. Small steps will have lasting impact. Quiet obedience will produce visible fruit. And one day soon, you will look back and realize that the release did not change who you are. It revealed who you had already become. The time is not coming. It has arrived. You are emerging now. Chosen one, not abruptly, not noisily, but with the quiet authority of someone who has been crowned in secrecy. What was once hidden is no longer concealed. Yet it is not exposed carelessly. It is revealed in glory, revealed in alignment, revealed with heaven's full permission. This is not the unveiling of information, it is the unveiling of identity. You are stepping forward as someone who has been shaped by silence and strengthened by obedience. For a long time, you carried your calling like a sealed letter pressed against your chest. You protected it from misunderstanding, from mockery, from premature interpretation. You learned when to stay quiet, when to wait, when to endure without explanation. That discipline has marked you. It has refined your spirit and clarified your vision. Now, as you move into visibility, you do not lose that depth, You carry it with you like a crown, invisible to the world, but unmistakable in the spirit. This is what it means to be crowned in secrecy. The crown was placed long before anyone saw it. It was forged in nights of prayer, in moments of restraint, in choices no one applauded. While others chased recognition, you chose reverence. While others spoke quickly, you learned to listen deeply. Heaven noticed. And now, heaven reveals. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Colossians, chapter 3, verse 4, when Christ, who is your life, appears, then you also will appear with him in glory. That verse is not only about eternity, it is about timing. There is a moment when what has been hidden in Christ must appear, not to glorify the vessel, but to glorify the source. Your life is beginning to reflect what has been forming within you all along. The glory others see is not self-made, it is God-reflected. This revelation does not inflate ego, it recalibrates purpose. You understand now that visibility is responsibility, not reward. Every step forward requires deeper surrender. What emerges through you must remain aligned with the one who formed it, or the light dims. You guard humility as you once guarded silence daily. Timing taught you discernment. You no longer rush divine processes or resist holy pauses. You sense when heaven moves and when it waits. This awareness protects you from striving and pride alike, keeping your spirit positioned correctly as doors open without force or manipulation under God's authority and lasting peace. You now recognize that glory is stewardship. It flows through obedience, not ambition. What God entrusts to you must be handled with reverence and courage. This understanding anchors you, ensuring that expansion never disconnects you from dependence. Prayer and continual alignment with truth as your foundation remains secure before heaven. As you step into this revealed season, you will notice that you no longer strive to be seen. Visibility finds you naturally. Your presence carries weight without effort. People sense depth before you speak, peace before you act. That is the mark of someone who was crowned before they were recognized. You are not performing, you are emanating. The glory revealed in you is not spectacle, it is substance. It shows up as wisdom in conversation, steadiness in pressure, compassion in authority. You have been trained to carry honor without losing humility, influence without losing integrity. That balance is rare. It was forged in the hidden years, when no one was watching but God. Do not be surprised if some struggle to reconcile who you were with, who you are becoming. They only knew the version of you that heaven was still shaping. Let them adjust. You do not need to explain the process, they will understand the result. The fruit speaks clearly, even when the roots were unseen. Remember this as you move forward. Glory is not the absence of scars, it is the transformation of them. Every place you were tested, every moment you were silent, every burden you carried alone has been woven into the authority you now walk in. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was accidental. Even the pain was precise. You are not stepping into a throne, you are stepping into service with greater clarity. True glory does not elevate you above others, it positions you to lift them. The more heaven reveals through you, the more grounded you must remain. The crown you wear was given to serve, not to separate. There will still be quiet moments ahead. Glory does not cancel intimacy. Return often to the secret place, not because you are hidden again, but because that is where your strength was formed. The same God who revealed you will sustain you, guide you, and correct you when needed. Stay teachable. Stay surrendered. As this chapter completes, understand this truth deeply. You did not arrive suddenly. You were revealed gradually, deliberately, lovingly. Heaven unveiled you only when you were ready, not just to shine, but to endure the light. You were crowned in secrecy. You are revealed in glory, and you are ready. As this journey comes to a close, chosen one, take a moment to breathe and recognize what has just unfolded within you. You did not merely listen to words, you walked through a spiritual passage, from secrecy to silence, from restraint to release, from being hidden to being revealed. You have been reminded of who you are and why your path has never looked ordinary. This ending is not a stopping point, it is a threshold. If this message has spoken to your spirit, let that resonance become a gentle action. Liking this message is not about approval, it is alignment. It is a quiet way of saying, "This truth found me." It helps this word reach others who may be standing in the same silent season you once stood in, wondering if heaven still sees them. Sharing this message is an act of compassion. Think of it like lighting a candle from your own flame. The light you pass on does not diminish you. It multiplies hope in places you may never visit. Someone in your circle may need these words more than they can express. Your share could be the confirmation they have been praying for in silence. If you feel led, leave a comment not for visibility, but for grounding. Writing a simple reflection, a word, or even a sentence anchors what you've received into your own journey. It turns revelation into remembrance. When you look back one day, you'll see how far you've come from this exact moment. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing, not out of habit, but out of intention. This space is not about noise or trends, it is about depth, timing, and spiritual clarity. Staying connected means continuing to walk alongside messages designed to strengthen discernment, patience, and purpose as your journey unfolds. Everything shared here is meant to serve, not to impress, to guide, not to rush, to remind you that heaven's work is often quiet, but always precise. If this message has nourished you, your support through presence, engagement, or simple consistency helps keep this space alive for others who are searching for meaning beyond the surface. You did not find this by accident, and you did not finish it unchanged. Carry what you've received with humility. Walk forward with confidence, and remember, what was formed in silence will continue to speak through your life long after the words fade.